So let's have a look at an example where we are calling a stored procedure in Entity Framework that actually takes in a parameter. So here, this stored procedure is called get older students. So it will look for the age as the parameter coming from our application. And it will select older students where the age is greater than or equal to the age being supplied in by our C# application. So if we create this procedure, so we are just going to click on this execute button over here, and the stored proc has been completed successfully. So if we now go over to our C# application, so within C# application, what we'll do is we will declare a variable for the age. So this could be coming from another logic or even from your users of the application. And what we want to do is we want to execute a stored proc using from SQL row, and we want to call the stored procedure name, and then we want to pass in that parameter. This variable here comes from over here, and what we're doing is, notice here we are using students and we're using the connection to our database that we set up earlier. So by doing this, the DB set here will automatically map the outputs from the stored procedure. So that's the properties of the students. So ID, name, age, and so on. It will map everything. So then we can do things like look through the older students over here, and then we can print out their name. So if I run this code over here, and you can see we get the output of Sarah and John. So in our database, let's have a look at which of our students were over the age of 21 or greater. So we can see Sarah is 22, John is 21, while Ali was 20. So hence we only got Sarah and John because they are over the age of 21. So this is how we have a stored proc in our database, and that stored proc takes in a parameter, and that parameter is used within our SQL over here. And then just by using Entity Framework connection and the student DB set, we are able to call the from SQL RAW row method, and we are able to execute the exec command and call the stored proc and pass it a parameter coming from a variable in our C# application. Once we get the output of the stored proc, we can then loop through the results and print the name of the students who are over the age of 21, or using Entity Framework and stored proc.